What's up guys, I'm Adam from Diddy Reviews, welcome to Diddy Reviews. Today we're going to be doing another cooler testing and review, and this one comes from Bitspower. Massive thank you to Bitspower for sending this one out, really appreciate it. I've got a few more things from Bitspower as well to test. We're going to do this one first. This is their Air CPU cooler, this is a Phantom CPU air cooler. So we're going to have a look at this, we'll unbox it so you can see what you get with it. And then we'll obviously install it. I'll show you the video of installing it as well so you can see sort of how easy it is. Obviously I'll talk about it at the end of how easy it was. And then obviously we'll do some testing on it and see how well it performs. So yeah, this is going to be tested. I'm just going to sort of compare it to my AIO that's in there at the moment, which is a Be Quiet Pure Loop 240. Probably not quite a fair comparison because you'd expect an AIO to be a bit better. But just that's what I've got in the system at the moment, so I'll test it on that. And we'll compare it to this. So yeah, let's get on with the unboxing. Right, so here we have the Phantom CPU air cooler from Bitspower. As you can see on the front, it is an ARGB fan that's included on it. And we'll get around to some of these specs of it in a second. And as it says, 4 heat pipes on the front. And DRGB. As you can also probably see here, it does say it's LGA 1700 compatible, so if you're a new 12th gen Intel, it's going to work, which is nice. It's all ready to go out of the box. You don't have to get any extra brackets or anything like that. Let's spin the box around and have a look what it says. Direct touch technology, it's pretty much standard in most air coolers now. Efficient airflow, high performance radiator. So obviously we'll test that, see how good it is. Fully covered metal top cover, again that's pretty much standard on most of them now. This is sort of the dimensions of it. It is a 120mm fan, so you could possibly put your own fans on it if you wanted to. But I'll have a look, it depends on how the mounting bracket is on that. But we'll have a look at that when we unbox it. You got flexible rack, minimise interference, that'll be for RAM clearance, so hopefully that'll clear the RAM nicely, no problem at all. It does say dedicated racks can be fit with more than one fan. That's nice to see, so you can actually put more than one fan on this. So we'll look at that. I might do that in my testing if I get time. Easy to install, broad compatibility. Obviously I'll discuss that at the end whether it is or not. So yeah, let's get into it and have a look what's in the box. Right, so in the box, as I first open it up, first of all it comes with Bitspower's own thermal compound. This is TP1 and a little spatula. I'll keep hold of this after I've used this because I'm going to be doing some more thermal paste testing. I've got loads of thermal grizzly stuff to do, so I'll be using this and I'll put this in my sort of league table that I'm planning to do in the future. Let's pop it out as best we can. Get a little accessory box here. So this is going to be, I'm assuming, all your fixings. Oh, we actually get some gloves with this one. Never seen that before in a CPU cooler. It's quite a nice inclusion. Stop you getting thermal paste on your hands. So yeah, nice one for that. And then here's all your bracketry and everything. So you've got your fan fixings here. I assume this is so you can put your own fans on it. That's actually a really cool idea. Like I say, hopefully I'll have time. If not, I'll do a follow-up video and I'll put extra fans on it and we'll test it. So that's your different fixings in there. It doesn't actually say on the bag which ones they're for. I assume all different ones are in there. Yeah, you got a different bracket. Actually, that's the AM4 there. So then that's Intel. And then you've got other brackets in there. So I assume everything you need is in there. And then you've got another bracket here, which is the Intel 1700 bracket. So yeah, definitely included there, as I mentioned before. So that's nice to see. Right, let's get the actual cooler out itself and have a look. So it's nicely well packaged, with some foam pieces around it to keep it safe, which is nice. And then here is the cooler itself. Nice big 120mm fan. Looks really nice. I believe it's lit. Yeah, it's lit from the inside, so it's lit from the hub outside. It's got these sort of translucent fans. Seems like quite a decent quality fan. There's hardly any hub wobble. There's a tiny bit, but you tend to find that quite a lot. Anyway, so yeah, that's looks quite nice. We've got anti-vibration mounts around the edge. Again, pretty much standard. It is pre-fitted with these brackets on here. Whether I'll need to take this off to fit the cooler, probably yes, because I've got access to these here. So I'll have to slide that off and then obviously install it and then pop that back on once it's done. But it's one of those ones that slide down the side, so it's not hopefully going to be too fiddly to get it back on. like some of the ones that use sort of the spring clips. They're quite difficult most of the time. Anyway, let's take another look around the top. Obviously, the top metal cover looks nice. Got the Bitspower logo there. Would have been nice to see maybe some illumination in there, maybe a translucent symbol, but it's not a big issue. That's the actual cooler itself, the sort of fin stack. And then obviously we've got 4 direct touch copper heat pipes down here, pretty much standard. We'll see how well it performs, and we'll obviously report back on that. And then for the fan, you've got your standard ARGB fittings, so you've got your 3-pin connectors in here with an extra one on top of it, so you can daisy chain something else off it. Nice to see again. Obviously, you could put that into your other fan that you had on the other side if you do decide to put another fan on it. And then standard PWM cable, all nicely sleeved as well, so there's no ugly colours or anything like that, and they don't look too bad. So yeah, that's the cooler itself. So we'll get it installed. I'll show you me installing it on video, and then I'll do a quick sort of B-roll so you can see what it looks like from a few different angles. It won't be anything too long, and then we'll get back with the results at the end. Right, so there we have the Bitspower Phantom air cooler. There's a few things I forgot to mention in the beginning, so I'm just going to go through those on the back of the box now, just to give you some more information about it. So you've got the, in terms of the fan itself, like I said, it's a 120mm standard, 120mm, 25mm thick. So you can use pretty much any fans on this you want to. With the brackets, they actually just come off, and they include screws to put on the other brackets to get another fan on there as well. So you can add an extra fan, any fans you want, if you wasn't a fan of this fan. But yeah, let's go through the specs of that. So that goes up to 1800 RPM for that fan. It is a little bit loud, but my system's loud anyway because I've got, I don't know, like 9 fans in it or something. So it is quite loud anyway. The rated noise level is less than or equal to 34 decibels, so it's not rated like dead low or anything like that. But it is audible. I run everything at 100% when I do my testing because I just want to keep everything fair. So any coolers I compare to each other, they've all been run at 100% and all the case fans ramped up. Just so I'm getting the maximum airflow, I can give you the result for the maximum performance that the cooler can do in my scenario. The airflow is 80.38 CFM, so that's massive airflow. It's actually a really good fan in terms of cooling, and the air pressure is actually really good for static pressure as well. It's 2.55 H2O maximum, obviously, which again is massive. So these are quite good fans. I do have some, let me find them, Nord fans. Let me just find them. Nord fans, I've got some 120s, I've got the 140s here. If these are anything like what's on this, then these are going to be brilliant as well. We'll do some testing on those in a couple of weeks, hopefully. Other than that, it's a fluid dynamic bearing, pretty much standard. And then a heat sink specification. There's 6mm pipes on it, and it's 50 fins on the stack. So yeah, I just wanted to clear up that sort of information so you had an idea of the specs of it. Now, in terms of testing, in terms of installation, sorry, I did show the video of how I installed it. There was quite a few takes doing that because I kept messing it up, and then it was quite. It's not the easiest to install. But then again, I never find these kind of air coolers very easy to install. Anyway, sometimes they're a bit fiddly. And one thing I'll recommend is if you are getting one of these, try and get yourself a long screwdriver, not one like this, because you have to reach down quite far. There's not quite a lot of clearance to do the screws up, and I did have a bit of struggle getting some of the screws tightened. And the brackets the screws slide for different platforms between AM4 and AM3 sort of thing. and when you're trying to do them up, sometimes they're sliding the wrong way, so you can't get them into where they need to go. So yeah, it's a little niggle for me in terms of the installation process, and it's not the easiest at all. Not the most difficult either, to be fair, but yeah, just bear that in mind. It's no more difficult than most of the others that are out there, to be fair. Most people, though, however, will be doing this on the motherboard before they put it into the system, whereas obviously I'm putting it into the system as it's already built up, which makes things 10 times harder anyway. So if you're putting it directly onto the motherboard before you then put that into your case, you probably have no issues whatsoever, so bear that in mind. It's difficult to install when it's in the case, but that's the case for most of them. But if it's being installed as you would normally do it, not a problem really, I suppose. And then the fan's really easy to install, which is good. It literally just slides on. And it does allow you to, because it's sort of slid on, it allows you to heighten it if you've got taller RAM. Mine doesn't go all the way down because my RAM's in the way, because I've got all 4 slots filled. If you've not got more filled, you might get away and get it all the way down, so it's flush with the top of the cooler. Or you might, if you've got low profile RAM, then it should fit no problem whatsoever. Yeah, so other than that, it looks quite nice. It's generic sort of silver colour that a lot of them are. It'd be nice if they did some different coloured ones. If they did like a black version, would be nice. Maybe a white version would be nice as well. So if they may be thinking of doing that, I don't know. They're probably seeing how well this one does in terms of sales and things like that. I don't know, but that would be nice if they could do different coloured ones. But silver goes with most people's builds anyway. Really, it doesn't stand out too much. But yeah, it looks nice. The fan itself, as I've mentioned the specs on it, is actually really powerful, and it actually looks really, really nice, because it's lit from the hub, not lit around the edges or anything like that. The diffusion's really good throughout the blades. There's no hotspots. There is a sticker over the hub as well, which probably covers up if there was any hotspots, but it's done really nicely actually, the RGB in this. It looks really nice. As you would have seen it in the video, the little clip I've done before this sort of chat at the end. It looks really, really nice. I'm impressed with that. The fan is a really nice looking fan, so I've got high hopes for the other fans that Bitspower sent me when I do a sort of review of those. Now the most important bit, testing. So I ran my usual. This is a 5900X. Locks all core at 4.6 gigahertz, so it pumps out some heat. It's the same test I do every time I do a cooler test. This is, so I run Cinebench Multi-Core test on for 10 minutes to stress test it, and sort of get a good average across the 10 minutes to see how it falls. Now, with this being an air cooler and not a liquid cooler like the one I'm comparing it to, like I say, it's not particularly fair to compare it to a 240 AIO, because you would expect the 240 AIO to be better. However, in terms of an air cooler, the results are actually pretty good. I'm quite impressed with it. Yeah, I can't complain at all with that. So we'll talk through the results now. With the AIO, again the Be Quiet Pure Loop 240, we had a maximum of 74 on the package and an average of 68, and on the CPU itself a maximum of 63 and an average of 58. So we compare that to our air cooler, which is here behind me here. Our CPU package had a maximum of 84 degrees and an average of 77, so what's that? That's 10 degrees hotter on maximum and 9 degrees hotter on average. And it's a similar story for the CPU temperature itself, not the package. 73 max, 66 average. So yeah, sort of a 10 degrees maximum difference. Now the maximum is probably one I want to be focusing on this. With it being an air cooler, it's, as far as I'm aware, it's going to saturate quicker rather than the liquid cooler. Obviously, it's got fluid in there to warm up, so it'll take longer for it to get up to higher temperatures. Whereas this one's going to shoot up quite a lot, so therefore the average is going to be higher because it's going to get up there quicker and stay up there. So the maximum is kind of what we're looking at. So 10 degrees, yeah, it sounds a lot, but it's not a 240 AIO. It's only got one fan on it. And it's an air cooler with 4 heat pipes, so what do you expect really? I mean, yeah, it's kind of to be expected, and by no means is it a bad result. 84 degrees is fine to be running 12 cores, 24 threads at 4.6 gigahertz. as you can imagine, pumps out a lot of heat. So 84 degrees is actually pretty good. I'm actually quite impressed with it. Yeah, so what I'm going to do in the future, I'm probably going to do another follow-up video with this one when I've reviewed some of my other stuff, because I've got quite a lot of stuff to do. I'm probably going to bang another fan on this, and we'll test it again, and we'll see how much it improves, if at all. We'll see what happens. I'm going to do some more sort of experiments as well. One thing I'm going to do, so make sure you stay tuned and get subscribed, guys, because I'm going to be starting doing sort of like a league table in terms of coolers for the coolers that I have, and they're going to be going on my testing system, which is a 7700K, so I can do it across the board and I don't have to keep taking things off my actual main system. So I am going to retest this again on a 7700K, and obviously I'll do sort of a leader table of what we've got. And sort of price per performance and things like that. I'm also going to use that for my thermal compound testing. I'm going to do a full complete sort of league table of those. So I'll be testing Arctic MX4, MX5, all the thermal grizzlies. I've got some from Gelid Solutions. I'm going to test the one that comes with the Bitspower. I've got quite a few to be testing. I'll use Be Quiets as well, probably. So yeah, I'm going to be doing a lot of stuff in terms of cooling in the near future. So make sure you stay tuned for that. Any questions, obviously leave them in the comments section below. If I've not answered them in this video, give me a shout and I'll try and get back to you as soon as possible. Don't forget to give this video a like if you liked it, give it a down, dislike if you don't like it. Like I said, leave any comments and don't forget to subscribe. I hope this has been informative, and I hope it gives you an insight into this cooler and whether you want to buy it or not. And thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Cheers guys, bye bye.